Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review. Today we're going to look at the Marvel Legends Dark Avengers Warbird, or the Dark Ms. Marvel, and I am so happy to finally have this! They finally made one! I have been wanting this figure for my Thunderbolts shelf for quite some time, so yeah, Moonstone's getting replaced, same character, different look. I'm excited for it. Anyway, packaging looks really good. See that nice Mike Deodato artwork right over there on each side, and then on the back right there looking awesome. And there's a read up over there. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. It says Dark Avengers on the top, not much more at the bottom. So let's get to it and crack this thing open. And if you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so at the Toy Snowman, where you can find all kinds of awesome figures over there. They have a wide selection of Marvel Legends, Transformers, G.I. Joe classified figures, and they have an awesome rewards points program. So check them out, the Toy Snowman. Link is in the description below. And here is Dark Ms. Marvel out of the packaging, and oh man, I'm so happy with this figure. A lot of reuse. The reuse that I had asked for, we're seeing the Phoenix body mold over here, which I have said repeatedly should be reused for a whole ton of female figures, and I think it's working out wonderfully. We have reused head sculpts over here too, so maybe some newer heads would have been cooler. I'll get into my gripes, but for the most part, I am pretty damn stoked about this figure. Let's get a closer look. So before she was Dark Ms. Marvel, she was Moonstone. Before that, she was Dr. Carla Soffin, a psychologist who killed her mother, and she got her powers from a Kree stone, and she killed the dude that had that, so it's no surprise that she's on this Dark Avengers team, which I thought was a very fun read. I really enjoyed it. If you haven't read Dark Avengers, I highly recommend it. I remember her being one of the more loyal members of that team to Norman Osborn, and a pretty powerful character, and I do like this head sculpt. I am just a little frustrated over here that we're not getting a new one for this character. It would have been nice if Hasbro gave us a brand new head sculpt. I do like it though. You can see it on the Carol Danvers Ms. Marvel right over here. This one has a little bit more paint going on though, a little bit more highlights going on. This one has a little bit more of like a darker tone in some of the creases, so there is some paint on it. It's just not as much as the other figure. However, when you look at the eyes right over here, you can see that she has this extra purple blush around the eyes, which is really cool, and of course they're yellowed out, which is really neat. So I prefer this head sculpt out of the two for this particular figure, but damn it, I wish she had her own new head sculpt. Of course, she also comes with this alternate head sculpt, which I also really like what they did with the purple blush over the eyes. The eye paint itself looks really good. I like how the mouth looks and everything. And I wish that there was a little bit more detail in the hair, but that doesn't look bad. A little bit of staining right over there, a little bit of dirt and everything. So, you know, some highlights. Just doesn't seem like we're seeing as much of the highlights like on the Carol Danvers version right there. And again, same head sculpt. I wish they gave us at least one new head over here. I am noticing that this has a little bit of a leathery texture on the mask where this one doesn't. So maybe they made minor alterations to it. I don't know. It kind of trips me out some. But getting back to this Phoenix body mold, I love this body mold. I wanted them to reuse it more for their female figures because I like how it articulates. I like how it looks. I wish they added maybe just a little bit more gold paint to the logo over here. It could have just used a little bit more gold paint, but for the most part, I think it looks great, man. This elbow tends to not straighten out all the way for me, but this one's just fine. And the black paint over the red is okay. And I did pose the hell out of this figure, and I don't have too much crazy chewing going on with the inner hips right here. The crotch pits aren't really destroyed. I've posed this figure quite a bit, so it still looks pretty good. You can see a little bit of a crease right inside right there, so there's a little bit of damaging for me doing that. And then, yeah, man, I like the sculpt of this body mold. I'll just say that again. I think it looks really good. I like the thighs right here. They look really good. They could have gone with the thigh-high boots, but they went with this design instead, which is totally fine. You know, there's some artists that do draw her with the thigh-highs and others that draw her with this. Or I think there may have been a change at one point. They could have sculpted out new calves. That would have been neat, you know, instead of just having it painted over. But it's not a huge deal for me. Would have been a preference. And then you get peg holes at the bottom of the feet. She has wide open hands right over here. Unfortunately, the pin is breaking apart right over there, so that bums me out. Then she also comes with two effects pieces right over here, which I'm glad she comes with. Now to get into the articulation, which I know it's the same thing as the Phoenix figure, but I really love the articulation on this figure, and I wanted to show it off over here. Now, there are limitations, especially with the scarf around the neck. You cannot move the heads too much, and I think this head gives you a little bit more articulation than the other one. And there's a dumbbell joint in there too, so it's not helping with that. So like the most I could really get the head to move up is like that. Like that's not even looking up. She could look down a little bit. Of course you could get it to move side to side and a little bit of pivoting, wobbling right over there. The butterfly joints are very cool. However, I can't get them to move all the way forward. I feel like there's just a little bit more space right there where it could move forward. I'm not willing to do the whole mushroom top cutting thing with this, but yeah, you can see when you move them back, it doesn't totally meet that cut in the back. So I wish we could get just a little bit more range of movement, but I still like the range of movement that we have here. You can see the shoulders can move up and above the 90-degree mark by a little bit, and you can move them down all the way, rotate a full 360. You get the bicep swivel, beautiful pinless double jointed elbows. Again, I wish we could straighten out the arms all the way. Well, this side, it actually works out. It's just this elbow, for whatever reason, won't straighten out all the way. And then you get the wrist that turns side to side, hinge up and down. Yeah, get the diaphragm cut right here that turns side to side. Diaphragm pivoting. Doesn't really bend forward much at the diaphragm cut. That's a bit irritating for me. It does move back more so, but not front as much. And then you get the crunch right over here, which I think works pretty well. A ball joint at the waist, I could see how that would look a lot smoother. I don't know if you'd get the same exact range of movement right there, but still happy to have the ab crunch on this figure. She bends back very well too. Very fun to pose. Anyway, hips move outward that far, and she will kick forward a bunch, which is great, and not back at all. Upper thigh cut. Double jointed knees, and I do recommend heating up the figure, by the way. With these pinless joints, I feel like they do get a little stiff, so I did heat this figure up. Ankles move down, they do move up. She has beautiful ankle pivot. Now to measure out the height of this Ms. Marvel, or Dark Ms. Marvel figure, you can see she's just a little over 6 inches tall. And here's Dark Ms. Marvel next to the two figures she's kit bashed from. We have the Ms. Marvel figure, Carol Danvers, and then we have our Jean Grey Phoenix figure right over here. Again, I'm so happy they used this body mold. I love this body mold. They could have used this one because she does have the thigh-high boots. Some books, she has the thigh-highs also, but I do prefer this look, and I am glad that they have different body molds. Then here's Ms. Marvel next to our two previous Moonstone figures, which, yeah, always frustrated the hell out of me because Dark Avengers have been around for a long time. Oh, do you want to see a head swap? Do we need to do head swap? I don't know. We'll do it with this one. This figure is brittle. It's about to break. That plastic. Oh my god. I'll just slap that one on right there. And yeah, that's actually kind of cool looking. I mean, you'd have to paint the mask, so it does look a little bit odd, but yeah, you could make that work if you wanted to. I prefer the newer head sculpts, but still, if you wanted that head to fit on there, you could make that work also. They look funny. And here's Dark Ms. Marvel next to our other original Dark Avengers. We have Ares, Novar, Sentry, Iron Patriot. Damn it, I can't wait to get the new Dakin figure. And then we have an older, I think this is the retro card Hawkeye that I'm using as my Dark Hawkeye. And then I'm using the retro card Black Suit Spider-Man for my Mac Gargan Spider-Man. And then here's Dark Ms. Marvel next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Ooh, I want to join your team. You guys are basically big time letdown Avengers, right? So I should fit right in, right? Ah! So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you liked it so much that you hit that like button. And if you want to support this channel by hitting that subscribe button, I do appreciate that. And I also appreciate those of you that support this content via the Tron and membership. And this is just something that makes me so happy to see. I think Hasbro did a really good job with this Dark Avengers Ms. Marvel right here, or the Dark Ms. Marvel. I really like it. I mean, dude, they did what I wanted to see have happen over here. They reused the body mold that I wanted to see. I think the paint applications came out really good. I do think that they could have added a little bit more gold paint on the chest logo. Aside from that, I think the paint apps actually look pretty sweet. Eventually, hopefully, I'd love to see Hasbro do more shadowing effects, stuff like that. Like on the red portions would have been really cool. But they barely ever give figures shadowing effect, which is something I wish they would add to the line. The hair even, not as much detail in the paint, So if I'm going to talk about, lacking paint here and there, yeah, I do see that. But just by a little bit. Mostly, I am very, very happy with this figure, man. I don't know what else to tell you. Been wanting it for a long time. They finally made it. I feel like they delivered at the price point of around 25 bucks. I'm going to give this Dark Ms. Marvel a Sun rating of... Two, please! And I'd like to know what you guys think. Have you been waiting for this figure too? Are you as excited to have it as I am? Do you not care? Do you like the original Moonstone look more? Or do you just don't care about the figure or character at all whatsoever? I want to know about it. Leave a comment down below. If you want to see the latest in Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. And I will catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. Your face.